Not going to worry today about being liked. I'm not going to worry about aesthetics too much. I'm going to read to you guys an email that I sent myself. Some ideas that inspired me while I was going about my day today. Don't worry about being liked. And don't worry about information all around you. Make a decision. Either don't take it so seriously or make a request for people. Tell people to post a link about the facts the next time they give out inflammatory information on social media or on the news. I know that the news people get paid to share drama and scary stuff. Inflammatory information such as asteroids and social security funds, like the YR 2024, I think. They were saying that the chances of an asteroid hitting the Earth has increased, but again, not to worry, and I'm still not sure if they're just placating us or not, but you guys can feel free to look up that information. Just type in, are we in danger of an asteroid? And you'll probably get a bunch of mixed answers. Try to focus on the reassuring answers right now. If your local news starts talking about it, then worry. That's why sometimes I watch the news. Again, we have to learn how to stay regulated emotionally. Many of us cannot be regulated emotionally, and that's probably why we get this advice all the time. Don't watch the news. It's very frightening, very disturbing. You also have a right to live in your living room. If your roommate or your husband or your friend or whoever you're living with wants privacy when they're dealing with a sensitive phone call, like a doctor or a therapist or even their friend, they can go to the other room. If you have a 2-bedroom apartment, or if you have a living space or a workspace where the person can go to the other room to take the call or to talk to their person, they can go in there. You can even say, would you mind, I'd like to sit on the couch. Go to the other room. You don't need to feel guilty about setting these boundaries. If necessary, you can move. Yeah, just hope to God you have a place to go. Especially if they get mad at you and tell you need to leave, because you're telling me what room to go to, you're telling me what to do. There is a balance, I believe, between, there's like a boundary between the idea of telling someone what to do or where to go and making a request. And it's easy to have a tone of voice. I think Anna Runkle of I'll say Crummy Childhood Fairy because I don't want to get censored. She has another name on her channel, and I'm glad YouTube is letting her call it that. But she has a channel where she says, often we have angry tones of voice, and we have to, pay attention to that. I feel like I'm angry all the time. I have a video on my channel on YouTube that talks about, are you angry? There's a possibility you might have been abused, and I'm sharing from my experience. I know that's where I got a lot of my rage from, feeling like people could do whatever they wanted to me, or kick me around, or push me around. I felt like a pushover all the time. And for the first time in my blessed 57 years, for the first time in my 57 years of life here on planet Earth, I am saying enough. At the same time, I know that I'm angry, and I have to temper that enough. And I am not sure if I got myself kicked out of my apartment today, because I got really angry with my roommate today and his friend. No, don't worry, YouTube. Don't worry, social media. I'm not angry to the point where I want to, do something drastic. But I'm tired of feeling like a pushover. I'm tired of feeling like people can do whatever they want. People can even ask me to do something and expect me to say yes. Otherwise, they're going to get mad, or they're going to do something to me, or I'm going to get, punished for it. Or I'm going to get, they're going to set a boundary with me and say, Carol, you can't live here anymore because you got a problem. You're acting like a bitch. You're angry all the time. You're toxic. I can't be around you because you're always mad. I remember back in the day, my roommate and I used to have these really bad fights, these really bad quarrels, and these really bad disagreements, conflict, because I was angry all the time. I was angry. I was just angry, just like a tea kettle ready to blow. Again, I wasn't about to do anything. I think the worst thing I ever did at home was I kicked a hole in the kitchen wall. You know, when I get really mad, you know, if I destroy anything, I usually destroy my own property, or I destroy something without meaning to. And I kicked a hole in the wall back in 1985 because he told me that I was trying to get attention by crying. And it was back in those days. Trigger warning. Take a moment. Trigger warning. When I self-harmed. And, you know, less was known about self-harm behavior. That was like back in the 80s. Back in the late 80s, 1985, 1986. And I was having a self-harming problem, and my roommate didn't know why I was doing it. He thought I was doing it to get attention. And I told him, I said, I'm not trying to get attention, Bruce. I really feel like I need to do this. You know, I feel like I need to, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that what I was saying was I need to feel like I have control. I need to feel like I have command somehow. And that was the only way I felt I could manage my feelings of helplessness and powerlessness and disenfranchisement and, you know, no command. He thought I was doing it to get attention, and that was the big thing back in the 80s and maybe even the 90s, clear into the millennial times. I was desperately even trying to explain to therapists that I wasn't trying to do that to get attention. And I lost my temper with Bruce that day, and I had to go and kick something. I didn't want to self-harm. At that point, my anger began to turn outward instead of inward that time, and I ran over to the nearest thing that I thought I could kick, that I thought I couldn't hurt, and bam, there was a hole in the wall. And thankfully, a decade later, there was a switchover in landlords, and we finally got it repaired. You know, we covered it up with something, and you know, it blew over. But whew, my point is, getting angry. I'm very aware of my anger problem, very aware of it, and I am attempting to study where it comes from. And in my case, it comes from feeling powerless. And I even studied social science, some social issues, and historically, and even in the present, women have been made to feel powerless all the time. That's why we seem to hate men. That's why we seem to hate our government and hate it when people even come near us sometimes. You know, I'm speaking as a female. I don't mind being a female. You know, I don't have an identity problem. I like being female, but I feel like I have to always dress down my femininity because I'm afraid of being used, taken advantage of again. You know, I feel very much like black people must feel. You know, I'm not a slave, damn it. I'm not here for you all the time. You know, it's time that I take care of myself. At the same time, the last thing I want to do is hurt anyone or hurt a man. And I did not want to hurt my roommate today. I did not want to hurt my roommate's friend today. I wanted to get along. And I was out in the living room, and I heard my roommate's friend talk about something that caught my attention. First, I was scrolling the news on my phone, and I saw the word asteroid. And guys, I don't want to scare you. You look it up. I don't want to frighten you like that damn social media frightened me a few hours ago. It said something like our chances of getting hit by an asteroid are doubled. And I thought, Jesus Christ, sorry Lord. I thought, jeez, you know, I didn't swear that, you know, but I was thinking, geez, oh my gosh, it never ends. You know, and I'm probably not alone. There's probably thousands, maybe even millions of people, billions of people on the planet right now that are sick of being triggered, sick of having our anger triggered, sick of having our terror triggered. You know, we have a man in office right now who's trying to be king. I signed a petition. You know, that was the first thing I saw when I woke up today. And you can look this up too. Trump and Elon Musk, and we have to keep it reined in with the judges. You know, he can have absolute power if we don't do this. You know, if we don't sign this petition, and I did sign it. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I had to take 5 minutes to put my phone down and wake up. I was still in the middle of waking up today. And that's another story. I've been having trouble keeping my hours since I left the program, since I left IOP. My neighbors have been keeping me awake. I'm furious because my neighbors keep vibrating my floor under my bed and I can't sleep. And I have blepharitis. My eyes hurt. I can't find any coverage with my healthcare plan. I can't even find a fucking doctor to treat my blepharitis. I have to treat it myself, and it's painful sometimes when I have flare-ups. So my eye was hurting all night. I had to deal with that. I had to do pain management exercises. I had to apply heat to it off and on, even apply my hands to it, providing I keep them clean. You know, I don't, I keep my hands clean. I had to treat my blepharitis all night, and I got kept awake by the neighbors. And what else? My allergies were acting up. My roommate and I have been sneezing a lot lately. You know, we have a running joke. You know, what's going on in the air? Is something in the air, or is our apartment too dusty and we're too, problematic with our depression to keep it properly clean, to vacuum? I don't like vacuum cleaners. That's another video. That's a phobia I have. I don't like vacuum cleaners. I don't like using any devices that make noise or that you have to use a rubbing motion for, like, running a vacuum cleaner back and forth. That's another video. Trigger warning. Sorry. That triggers my my PTSD. So I haven't vacuumed. My roommate and I average vacuuming maybe once a year, especially if our landlord wants to inspect our apartment. So that. And I held back from yelling today, but I had to keep the anger out of my voice, and I still couldn't keep it out of my voice. I said, what is your friend talking about now, Bruce? Is he talking about, did Social Security run out? Am I going to be unable to even go back to an IOP next year or in 6 months? I'm giving myself a year's break before I go back to another mental health program because I'm trying to cool off from what happened to me all year long. You mean I can't even go back to a program? He's saying that funding is running out and federal funds are being compromised by Elon Musk and all this stuff. Tell him to look it up. Quit spewing out this information, because it's, or expect me to just not pay attention, because I can't handle it right now. And my roommate goes, well, he doesn't want to discuss politics. And I said, well, what was he discussing? I overheard him on the speakerphone. And that turned into kind of a little bit of a problem. And I ended by saying, you know what? If you and John want privacy, you can go in the other room, because I like to sit out here in the living room. It's quieter out here, and I can sit without my earbuds. And he went in the other room. And then I felt really guilty. I was controlling myself. And I was saying, I thought we had a house rule that if you wanted privacy, you could go in the other room. I thought we had a new house rule that you could do that. But I felt guilty again. I felt like this guilty, angry bitch. And I was trying to control myself. And if we have a 2-bedroom apartment and we're not married, we have a roommate situation, we ought to be able to set boundaries like that. I shouldn't have to come in here and every time your fucking phone rings. So I've been struggling with a couple of things. My anger and my fear. My anger and my anxiety. I need to be in an environment right now where it's quiet, where I have breathing room, you guys. I feel like I need to, I need to calm down my anger. I've got a lot to be angry about. Much outrageous stuff is happening around me. And I don't want to be overstimulated. I am overstimulated already. But how do you, my question that I'm asking myself is how do you deal with life being lifey? I don't want to run away with my tail between my legs. I don't want to stick my head in the sand. I want to face problems, but I don't want to be overloaded and overstimulated all the time to a point where I'm going to have another mental breakdown, especially right after I left the IOP. I have been on edge lately, too, leaving that place. And, that was really, truly outrageous, having to leave that fucking place. And, because I felt like something was going on that I wish had been taken care of decades ago. Gay rights in the office, gay rights in healthcare. And now President Trump wants to do away with that. We have worked so hard politically to recognize gay marriage. And even before Trump got in again, I was struggling with discrimination at the IOP. And they thought I was going after this woman, and I wasn't. I got accused covertly. We can't have in-house relationships. Well, why are Bobby and Trina walking around with their arms around each other? And they're like, well, that's none of your business. That's between them. And I said they can run around with their arms around each other, practically kissing in the hallway. And you're upset about me having a crush on a woman that probably doesn't love me, or does love me, and she's in the closet. So a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot to be mad about, ladies and gentlemen, but I still have to own my anger. I still have a behavioral module in my mesh process. And I need to own it. I want to teach and learn mental wellness. I want to teach and learn universal ethics. I don't get gratification from getting mad. I don't. I'm grateful I was able to control my temper just enough today. And integrity. Walk, sit, lie, stand with people in dignity and integrity. Practice ethical intimacy. Practice safe home. I want to keep this home safe. Contrary to popular belief, I want to keep this home a safe place. I don't want it to be an angry, dysfunctional home. I want it to be a safe place where we can depend on one another to, feel safe. But, damn it to hell if I have to come in here every time his phone rings. And I think that was kind of his friend's attitude. I think that was John's attitude. Because one day he asked my roommate if I was home. And I could tell by his tone of voice that he wasn't just asking. I think he was hoping that I was gone so he could have a private conversation with my roommate. And, okay, you want a man-to-man talk? And if I'm here, and if you feel, go in the other room. Don't fucking sit in the living room and expect me to. That's your life. When I get a call from someone, when I have to call somebody, I come in here and deal with it unless I need my roommate to help me. if we fucking took care of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, instead of worrying about some other people, I think we would indirectly get along better. But I feel like I have to come in here. Is Carol home? Is Carol home? Hi Bruce. Is Carol home? Like as if to say, I don't want to talk to you unless she's not here. Oh, for crying out loud. How about, hi John, let me go in the other room so we can talk in private. Something a little bit healthier behavior here. Instead of me feeling like I have to go, oh, sweetheart, honey, would you like me to go in the other room so you guys can talk? Christ. Oh my God. I'd had enough today. That was happening again. So I set a boundary, and now I'm afraid he's mad at me. I'm afraid John hates me. But new rule. I don't care. I care, but fuck it, man. I gotta take care of myself now.